Welcome back to the Mastering the Keys series. We'll learn how to master playing in every key on the piano. Whether you're an aspiring music producer, a composer, a songwriter, or just want to get better at the piano, learning every key is important because many people say that each key has its own unique sound and emotions that are associated with it. So let me know what your feelings that you get from this key are down in the comments below. Now the last major key that we looked at was B flat, so let's travel down the circle of fifths to our next stop at E flat major. Now every time we move down the circle of fifths, we'll add another flat to our key signature. In the key of E flat major, we have three flats, which are B flat, E flat, and now we'll add A flat. You may have noticed a pattern of the flats in that each time we add another flat to the key signature, the next flat will always be a major fourth interval above the previous flat. E flat is a major fourth above B flat, and A flat is a major fourth above E flat. This is a neat trick to help us remember our order of sharps and flats. Let's start off by breaking down the notes that make up the E flat major scale. Since the name of the key is E flat, the root note of the scale will also be E flat. By following our major scale step pattern of whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, and half step, we'll get the notes E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, and then back to E flat. Now let's take a look at how to play the E flat major scale on the piano. Starting first with the right hand, we'll take our middle finger, which is finger number 3, and we'll start on E flat and play 3, then shift up or cross over so that we play F with finger 1, then G with finger 2, and A flat with 3, and then B flat with 4. Then we'll shift up so that we play C with finger 1, D with 2, and land on E flat with finger 3. Then we'll head back down the piano with finger 2 on D, and then 1 on C. Then we'll shift down so that you play B flat with finger 4, A flat with 3, G with 2, and F with 1, then cross over, landing home on E flat with finger 3. Again, those finger numbers are 3, shift, 1, 2, 3, 4, shift, 1, 2, 3, and then back down on 2, 1, shift, 4, 3, 2, 1, shift, 3. So practice that scale pattern slowly until you can do it at least 3 times in a row without mistakes, then you can work on speeding it up. Once you feel comfortable with that, we can move on to the left hand. Looking at our left hand now, find E flat and put finger number 3 on it. We'll play E flat with 3, F with 2, and G with 1. Then shift up to play A flat with finger 4, B flat with 3, C with 2, and D with 1. Then shift up to land on E flat with finger 3. Then we'll shift back down, playing D with 1, C with 2, B flat with 3, and A flat with 4. Then shift down again to play G with 1, F with 2, and then land home on E flat with finger 3. Again, those finger numbers are 3, 2, 1, shift, 4, 3, 2, 1, shift, 3. Then back down, we'll shift down to 1, 2, 3, 4, shift, 1, 2, 3. Now do that a few times until it's comfortable to play, then work on putting both hands together at the same time. Now let's set up our hands with our right hand finger number 3 on E flat and our left hand finger number 3 on E flat. And we'll play E flat, then the right hand will shift up to F, then play G, and now the left hand will shift up to A flat, then play B flat, now the right hand will shift up to C, then play D, and the left hand will shift up to E flat. Now we'll head back down and the left hand will shift down to D, then play C, now the right hand shifts down to B flat, then play A flat, then the left hand shifts down to G, then play F, and finally the right hand shifts down to land home on E flat. Now let's do that again, but just a little bit slower. We'll play E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, and E flat. Then head back down from E flat to D, C, B flat, A flat, G, F, and finally land back home on E flat. And that's how you play the E flat major scale on the piano. If you're playing along on your own with this video, great work learning that scale. And once you feel comfortable with that, we can move on to learning the arpeggios. Arpeggios are just roots that will play the root, the third, and fifth notes of the scale, which in E flat major are the notes E flat, G, and B flat. Like with the scales, we want to learn the hands separately before trying them together, so let's start off looking at the right hand. Since we have two black keys with a white key in between, we'll use the Oreo finger pattern of 2, 1, 2, 4 for this arpeggio. So start by placing your right hand index finger on E flat, and then manipulate your hand to have finger 1 above it on the G key. We'll play E flat with 2, and then G with 1, then bring finger number 2 over your thumb and use it to play B flat. We'll then play E flat with finger 4, then shift your hand up to play G with 1, then play B flat with 2, and E flat with 4. Then we'll come back down with 2 on B flat, 1 on G, and then shift down to play E flat with 4, B flat with 2, and G with 1, and then cross over finger number 2 over your thumb and play E flat. Again, those finger numbers are 2, cross, 1, 2, 4, shift, 1, 2, 4. Then back down on 2, 1, shift, 4, 2, 1, cross, 2. Now let's take a look at the left hand, which plays the same notes but uses a different fingering. For this one, we'll start with finger 2 on E flat, and we'll play E flat, then G with 1, then shift your left hand up and land finger 4 on B flat, then play E flat with 2 and G with 1. Then we'll shift up to play B flat with 4, and then land on E flat with 2. Then come back down on B flat with 4, then shift down to play G with 1, E flat with 2, and B flat with 4. Then shift back down and play G with 1, and then land home on E flat with finger 2. Again, those finger numbers are 2, 1, shift, 4, 2, 1, shift, 4, 2. Then back down on 4, shift, 1, 2, 4, shift, 1, 2. Now we can practice each hand separately, very slowly until you can play them smoothly by themselves, then try putting them together, which will sound like this. If you've been playing along with this video, awesome job with those. I believe that the arpeggios are often the hardest part of learning a key, so it gets easier from here on out. Now we can talk about the 1, 4, and 5/7 chord progression. We practice these chords because the 1, the 4, and the 5 chords are the most commonly played chords in just about any piece of music, from old classical pieces all the way to modern rock or pop songs. By knowing how to play these chords, you can also pretty easily write your own song in this key. You'll most likely see them in the wild in their triad form, which just means a chord made up from 3 different notes, so we try to keep them down to 3 notes each when learning here, which is why you'll see in a moment that we remove the 5th interval out of that 5/7 chord. In the key of E flat major, the major 1 chord of E flat is spelled E flat, G, and B flat. The major 4 chord is A flat major, which is spelled A flat, C, and E flat. And the 5/7 chord is B flat 7, which is spelled B flat, D, F, and A flat. But to make the chords fit better in your hands, we'll play the 4 chord in its second inversion, so it will be an A flat chord but stacked on the E flat, which is spelled E flat, A flat, and C. The 5/7 chord will be stacked in its first inversion, which means that we spell the chord starting on the first note above the root, and we'll remove that 5th interval out of the chord, leaving us with the 3rd, the 7th, and the root of the chord, which is spelled D, A flat, and B flat. Now a chord progression that we use goes major 1, major 4, back to major 1, then 5/7, and 1. So we'll start by playing that E flat major chord, and then the 4 chord A flat in its second inversion, which is spelled E flat, A flat, C, then go back to that major 1 chord. Then we'll play that B flat 7 in its first inversion, but without the 5th, giving us D, A flat, and B flat, which is our 5-7, and then we'll finally end by going back to that E flat major chord in its root position. Playing all of them back to back for our chord progression will look like this. Now, great job making it through those. Now there's just one last thing to talk about before truly mastering E flat major, and those are the inversions. These are just going through different ways to stack the E flat major chord. Looking first at the right hand, we'll play that E flat major chord in its root position with the notes E flat, G, and B flat using our classic 1, 3, and 5 fingering. Then we'll move finger 1 up to G, so we play G, B flat, and E flat with fingers 1, 2, and 5. Then we'll move that right hand up again so that finger 1 is on B flat and play B flat, E flat, and G with fingers 1, 3, and 5. And then finally move up to play that E flat major chord in its root position with fingers 1, 3, and 5. Now going to the left hand, the notes are the same, but we'll use different fingers. We'll play that root E flat major chord with fingers 5, 3, and 1 on E flat, G, and B flat. Then shift up to have finger 5 on G and play G, B flat, and E flat with fingers 5, 3, and 1. Then we'll move up to have finger 5 on B flat, and we'll play B flat, E flat, and G with fingers 5, 2, and 1. And then finally move up one last time with your pinky on E flat and play that root E flat chord an octave up with fingers 5, 3, and 1. Like all the other things we've talked about, be sure to play each hand slowly until you can play it without errors before trying to put them together. When we play both hands at the same time, it'll sound like this. Now, great job working through those. Now, I know you hear me harp on a lot about playing something very slowly until you can play it completely right, but it really is important, and unfortunately it took me way too long to realize this in my own journey to learn the piano. By practicing at a speed that's slow enough that you don't make mistakes anymore, it makes sure that your brain develops the proper muscle memory that you need to master what you're learning. If you can master what you're trying to play slowly, it'll be way easier to speed it up and you'll play it just fine at faster tempos later. But if you can't 100% it slowly, you'll never get it right at the higher speeds. It can be painful and it's sometimes demotivating to have to work so slowly, but learning the piano is a hard thing to do, and you need to be sure to give yourself enough grace to be comfortable with making mistakes and taking the time to correct them instead of pretending they don't exist and just powering through. Well, with my spiel out of the way, let's get back to the video and put together everything that we've talked about in this video. We'll do the scale, the arpeggio, the chords, and then the inversions. Now, congratulations on mastering the key of E flat major. If you found this video helpful, please help out the channel by giving this video a like and subscribe if you aren't already. Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for more musical content.